Hello everybody, my name is Trevordy, and today I felt like I really needed a break, so I packed my bags and went out to my grandpa's old farm in Stardew Valley. I woke up to a package from the mayor, 15 parsnip seeds to get me started. After clearing out an area in front of the house and chopping down enough wood to make me a chest, I tilled the land and planted my parsnip seeds, along with some wild seeds I found while clearing out the area. You may have a problem with the way that I put the seeds, but don't worry, I feel it too. I feel it too. After watering my crops, I then headed into town hoping to introduce myself to the locals. I then bought some seeds from Pierre for beans, cauliflower, and 1 potato. I pretty much just spent most of the day introducing myself to the townsfolk. I was originally going to record voice lines for all of them, but that was taking too long, and the cringe was just killing me from the inside out. Once it started to get dark, I went back to the farm. I planted the other seeds that I had bought and watered them. Then I threw the stuff I wanted to sell into the box. I then accidentally watered my door, and then I went to bed. Overall, a good but long day. On day 2, I received a letter from someone named Willie, asking me to meet them at the beach. Then I watered my crops, broke some of the rocks around the front of my house, and found a geode. After that, I cleared somewhat of a path towards the place just south of my farm. Then went over there to look for some forageables. I didn't find much. I found this abandoned house out here though, which is cool. I picked up a quest to deliver a daffodil to Gus. I then found a daffodil right outside his saloon. I didn't deliver to him right away though. I first went to see Clint about the geode. It only had stone though. I then went to the beach to meet Willie, who gave me a fishing rod. So I tried out my rod, and right away caught a sunfish. It might be a good way to make money while my crops are growing. I went fishing some more and caught a sardine and some seaweed. After that, I went home to put some stuff in the box that I wanted to sell. I went to the saloon to give Gus his daffodil. After that, I went fishing some more and caught a chub and a smallmouth bass. I also found a mysterious looking tower in the woods. And after that, since it was so late, I just went home and hit the sack. On day 3, it was raining, though I think it always rains on day 3. Since I didn't have to water my crops, I went south to go fishing in the river. I got 2 chubs, and I also found a lost book buried in the ground. After that, I decided to go to the beach and fish near Willie's shop. I got 2 herrings and a sardine. Then I went into town to do, you guessed it, more fishing. I caught a shad, a bream, and a smallmouth bass. Then I went home to try out my new favorite pastime at the little pond outside my house, but only managed to fish out some trash. I went south again and went fishing yet again. I caught 2 breams, a chub, and more trash. If I don't level up my fishing at this point, then I'm not sure how I'd do it. Since it was late, I went back home, dropped off my spoils into the box, and went to sleep, probably smelling strongly of fish. Oh, and I leveled up. Not only my foraging, but of course my fishing. I would have been surprised if I didn't level up my fishing after a whole day of basically nothing but fishing. I woke up only to find that a ding-dong-dang crow ate one of my parsnips. I like crows, but that's my money. I watered the rest of my crops while thinking to myself that I really needed to get or make a scarecrow so that it doesn't happen again. Even though it only happened once, I was disgraced. What kind of farmer am I if I lose my crops to a bird? I went south and caught a sunfish before finding a whole bunch of spring onions, just like the TV man predicted. Earlier that same day. This one's for you folks living in Stardew Valley. Check for spring onions southwest of town where the river meets the ocean. You can sometimes find a whole bunch growing right out of the dirt. And that's exactly what I found. After aimlessly wandering the woods, I waited outside Leia's house like a totally normal person would, so that I could give her a dandelion that I found earlier that day. And she seemed to appreciate it, so I'm gonna take that as a good sign. And that it wasn't creepy, I'm pretty sure. After that, I had the most interesting conversation with Abigail. I then went north of town and decided to give Linus a silver quality spring onion as a gift. I went fishing some more, and after catching a bullhead, I got an achievement called Fisherman. I then continued fishing, but only caught a chub. I found yet another lost book buried at the beach. Not the most amazing of buried treasures, but it's something. After dropping stuff off at the box and wandering around town aimlessly, I went back home again and started chopping down trees until I no longer had the energy to do so. Tuckered out, I went to bed and got level 2 fishing. Wow! I woke up to the sound of rain. Luckily, that means I don't have to water my crops today. I also noticed that I had received 2 letters. The first was from someone called Hat Mouse. I'm guessing they sell hats. And they're possibly a rodent. The second was a letter letting me know that the mines were now accessible. I harvested my parsnips now that they were finally done growing, saved some, and threw the rest to the box. Then I went to town, but since it was so early, Pierre's was still closed, so I decided to go straight for the mines. Inside, I met an adventurer named Marlin, who told me that it's dangerous to go alone. I never seen a sword quite the shape of sides. Oh gods, that's not a sword. So, anyways, let's just explore the mines. I went through the mines gathering copper ore and anything else interesting I found along the way. I encountered slimes and giant flying bugs galore, and after reaching level 5, I've left the mines having gotten some copper, an earth crystal, retaining soil, hardwood, and geode. Overall, a pretty successful trip through the mines, I think, and now I can go straight down to level 5 whenever I want. I went back home and dropped off the stuff I wanted to keep. Then I went back into town and bought 15 potato seeds from Pierre's. After that, I went over to Clint's place to get the geode open, but I sadly arrived right after he had closed the shop. So I just decided to go to the beach, and while I was there I caught a flounder, before eventually just going home to plant my taters. After that, I started cutting down more trees again tonight until I couldn't anymore. Then I went to bed and got level 1 farming, which means I can craft a scarecrow now. Yay! On day 6, it was raining again, and for some reason, Clint was waiting for me right outside my door, in the pouring rain, just to awkwardly give me some blueprints for a furnace so I could smelt metal bars. I'm not sure if that's good for your business, Clint. Like, aren't you the local blacksmith? Isn't smelting metal bars your job? Now you're just gonna let me do it for you? Alright. I checked the mail to find advertisements from Pierre and Willie, as well as a letter from Marlin letting me know I could join the Adventures Guild if I killed 10 slimes. After reading the mail, I crafted a scarecrow. I luckily already had everything I needed for one. I then went down south, back to that abandoned house, where I found Hat Mouse, who was in fact selling hats. One hat, actually. One that I wasn't interested in, so I didn't buy it. I then went into town and accepted a quest from Elliot to catch an anchovy, which, with my experience in fishing, that shouldn't be a problem. I went to see Clint so that he could process my geode, and it ended up being some sandstone, which I took along with the earth crystal to donate to the museum. After that, I went to the beach and caught a sardine along with that anchovy that Elliot wanted. I wanted to give it to Elliot since he lives on the beach, but he was staying indoors all day since it was raining and wouldn't answer the door. I guess I'll just keep his anchovy in my back pocket. I then went fishing again in the river near town and caught a bream, a shad, and a smallmouth bass, along with a treasure chest that gave me some copper ore and some rice shoots. I then went back to the farm to plant said rice shoots near the tiny pond, threw the fish into the box, and I dropped the copper ore into the chest. I still didn't have enough to make a furnace yet. I then spent the rest of the night chopping down trees again. Damn Beaver would be proud. And once I couldn't chop down any more trees, I hit the sack. On the 7th day, I woke up and watched a cooking show, which taught me how to make stir-fry. Maybe I can make that with my friend Rad at some point. It was finally not raining today, though that did mean I had to water my crops. I harvested 3 potatoes and then threw them into the box, and then I went into town to meet with the mayor. When I got into town and met with the mayor, he showed me what was left of the community center. He basically told me that Joja Corporation wanted to buy the land, and though the place was in disrepair, he wasn't too keen on the idea of selling the land just yet. He also said that the reason that the community center has fallen into such disrepair is because the young folk would rather sit in front of the TV than engage with the community. Those are some pretty old-fashioned young folk. Mayor Lewis probably thought I was going mad when I started to see apples with faces inside the community center. So obviously after he left, I stayed and explored the place some more. The only thing of interest that I found was this strange object with even stranger text written upon it. I had no idea how to read it, so I figured I'll have to check it out later. After that, I remembered that the whole reason that I went to go see Mayor Lewis today was because today was his birthday. So I went over to find him again and gifted him one of my parsnips as a present, which is probably the best thing I could give him at the moment, and he seemed to like it anyways. I then went to the beach and found some glass shards buried in the sand. Oof. I safely removed them, and then spotted Elliot on his way into town, and gave him that anchovy that he wanted. Just had it in my pocket the entire time. Sure, he wanted it fresh, but that's not what he got. I also saw the merchant today, but they weren't selling anything that I wanted, so I just went back home and dropped some things off. I then went to the mines and stupidly brought most of my tools with me, instead of making space for anything I wanted to collect while I was there. So I started on level 5, and I was fighting a bug and a rock crab thing, and they both ended up creating ladders down to the next level when they died. I didn't even know that was possible, you know, for the 2 ladders thing, but I ended up going down the ladder that was made by the crab. On the next level, a crab dropped when I killed one of those rock crab things and was just bouncing around like crazy until I dropped some junk and crammed the crab into my pocket. I really wanted to keep that bouncing crab. During my whole trip in the mines, I was struggling to make room in my inventory for all the things I got down here. Something that I was so focused on that I didn't even notice how late it was getting. On level 10, I found some leather boots in a chest, and put them on instantly without even looking at the stats, since I couldn't fit them in my pockets. Other than the boots, I also left the mines with some copper ore, a bouncy crab, earth crystals, quartz, a geode, and topaz. I ended up leaving the mine at around 12:30, so I ran as fast as I could back home to try to avoid passing out. Without organizing anything or putting anything into the box, I jumped into bed at 1:40 in the morning. It literally took over an hour to get back home, but at least I got level 1 mining, and some cool stuff. And that's it for this video. I felt like 1 week of progress was good for this first one. If you're interested in seeing me play some more, consider giving this video a like. If you have any tips, ideas, or suggestions for me, go ahead and tell me in the comments. I've made this video to try to get myself to actually play through this game, since while I've had it for years, I've had trouble sticking with it, so I've never really gotten far. Also, consider subscribing. I plan on making some more gaming videos, not just of Stardew Valley, but of other stuff as well. I'm actually currently working on one of me playing a modded Minecraft server with my friends. I also make original music, and I'm hoping to upload a lot more frequently now. Hopefully. Anyways, that's all for now, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Peace.